In this video, I'm gonna reveal to you 4 secret habits that are secretly ruining your life without you even realizing it. And I could say that as a fact because all 4 of these habits were ruining my life. But once I identified them and replaced them with positive habits, I started to consistently level up in my life. So if you've been feeling stuck and you want to start leveling up in your life, this is one video you don't want to miss. How many hours have you spent watching videos about changing your life without actually changing your life? Be honest, bro. I've been there too. I used to binge motivational clips, productivity podcasts, self-help books, thinking I was making progress. But the truth is, I wasn't. I was just consuming instead of creating. And that's the first habit that's secretly ruining your life. And this habit is a silent killer because it feels productive. I mean, you're learning, you're staying inspired. But if you're honest with yourself, what you're really doing is chasing that dopamine hit of potential without actually building anything real. That's why you've got to understand this. Scrolling content about self-improvement is not self-improvement without action. This is like watching gym videos and thinking you're getting stronger. If you're not building a skill, growing your body, stacking wins, you're just wasting time. I mean, this is basically mental junk food. And the more you consume, the more paralyzed you become. You start confusing inspiration for execution. But like I said, knowledge without action is worthless. That's why if you want real confidence, if you want momentum, you need to become a creator, not just a consumer. And this doesn't mean you have to start making YouTube videos like me or start a business, but you do need to start creating something with your hands, your mind, or your energy. Build your physique, build a portfolio, build a new identity through action. Creation is how you shift your reality. Consumption just keeps you in the illusion of growth. And once you make that shift from consuming content to creating change, your entire life is gonna feel different. Now in the next section, I'm gonna break down another habit that's just as sneaky, even more dangerous, and just might be the biggest reason you keep feeling stuck. How many opportunities have you missed because you were waiting for the right time? How many goals have you put off because you didn't feel like doing it yet? This next habit is one of the most dangerous because it hides behind logic. It's waiting until you feel ready, waiting until you have the motivation. I mean, it sounds responsible, it sounds smart, but it's keeping you average. And that's the truth. You think success comes when you're finally motivated, when the stars align, when the mood is right. But the truth is, that moment never comes unless you create it. I used to tell myself the exact same thing. I'd say I'll start working out when I'm less tired, or I'll go all in on that business idea once I'm in the zone. But these were all just lies I was telling myself. And as a result of these lies, I stayed in the exact same place. Why? Because I was training myself to only act when I felt good. And that's what most guys do. You delay action because you're not in the right mindset. But what you don't realize is mindset follows movement. You move first, you act first, then your mind catches up, bro. High-level men, we don't wait. We work whether we feel like it or not. That's what separates you and them. High-level men have trained the discipline muscle. And every time you take action without motivation, you're doing the same. You're building yourself into a high-level man. Every rep builds self-trust. Every time you choose discipline over delay, you stop being a slave to your emotion. But the longer you wait to feel ready, the weaker that muscle gets. The more you hesitate, the more powerless you're gonna feel. So next time you feel that voice in your head telling you, not yet, ignore it. Move anyway. Act anyway. Because if you want to take your life to the next level, you have to stop waiting and start becoming. Now, speaking of avoiding discomfort, the next habit goes even deeper. And most guys have no idea it's ruining their life because they're taught to avoid it. By the way, if you're tired of just watching videos without getting any results and you're ready to actually fix your problems for good, book a 15-minute consultation with me. Also, if you want a free ebook to help you reach any goals you want, sign up for my email list. Finally, if you got a quick question, drop it in the comments. When is the last time you actually sat with how you felt? No distractions, no music, no weed, no scrolling, just you and your emotions. Exactly. Most guys don't process anything. You don't feel your anger. You don't feel your boredom. You sedate it. That's why this next habit is so dangerous. It's called emotional numbing, and it's quietly wrecking your life from the inside out. When you feel anxious, you vape. When you feel bored, you scroll. When you feel lonely, You text that toxic individual, or maybe you are that toxic individual. When you feel stressed, you hit DoorDash and call it treating yourself. But what are you really doing? You're coping with feelings instead of confronting them, bro. And you're not alone. I literally used to do this every single day until I realized the truth about my emotions, that they're not my enemy. In fact, they're my friends. They're signals that something in your life needs attention. But every time you numb those signals, you bury those solutions deeper and deeper and deeper. And although it might feel like they've gone away, they don't go away. In fact, they fester, they grow, until they eventually explode. This is how you end up waking up one day wondering why your life feels meaningless, why your motivation is gone, why you feel stuck. Because you've trained yourself to avoid discomfort, to escape the hard conversations, to run from the truth instead of facing it head on. As men, this is what we're taught to do. Don't understand your emotions, suppress them. Long-term growth doesn't come from suppressing your emotions with comfort. It comes from sitting with your emotions, listening to them, and doing something about them. You don't need another dopamine hit. You already get enough of those. You need clarity. You need honesty, and sometimes you just need to feel it. And if you feel like you resonate with that one, wait until you hear the next habit, because it's the silent killer that most guys only recognize when it's too late. You think you've got time, don't you? Time to change, time to get serious, time to finally go all in. And on some levels, it's true. You do have time. But the longer you tell yourself you have time, the less time you'll end up actually having. And the harder it will be for you if you ever actually start. This is the habit that kills more dreams than anything else, bro. Telling yourself you have time. You say you'll start next week. You say you'll wait until you feel ready. You say now's just not the right time. I'm not really feeling it. But every time you delay, that delay becomes an even bigger habit. You're not just putting things off here. You're training yourself to be a man who puts things off. And eventually, procrastination doesn't feel like a decision anymore. It starts to feel like your personality. You start to think this is just how I am. And I used to live in that mindset. I kept telling myself I had time to get disciplined, time to work on myself, time to stop wasting my potential. But one day I looked in the mirror and realized something terrifying. I'd already wasted years telling myself I had more time. The truth is, you don't need more time. You need to stop wasting the time you already have, bro. Every minute you spend scrolling, avoiding, overthinking, that's time you're not gonna get back. And what feels safe now becomes regret later. Remember that the longer you wait, the harder it becomes to actually change. Because the roots of your comfort grow deeper and deeper and deeper until it becomes your personality. And at that point, it's significantly harder to change it. When this happens, your excuses get stronger and your fire dims. And here's the truth, you were meant to be more. There's a version of you that's locked inside of you right now, waiting to break out. And the only way he shows up is if you stop lying to yourself about time. This is the wake-up call. You don't need more time, bro. You need a decision followed by consistent action. And now that you know the 4 habits secretly ruining your life, the only question left is this: are you ready to replace them? Because your next level starts now. And the first step to you reaching that next level is to break your old habits and replace them with new habits that I tell you about in this video.